Moms Without Time podcast. It's all too much and not enough at the same time.
Hello and welcome to Moms Without Time podcast, a show where two moms share their own experiences, thoughts, ideas, and tips on all things being a mom.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are so glad to be back. We are Moms Without Time, and I'm Monica.
I'm Melissa.
And this time we are at your house.
Yes, so excited that you guys were able to come down from Dallas.
It's always a good time to record an episode, but also get to see you, get to see my nieces, and have Millie play with them.
Yes, and we had a fun time today because we had a cool little photo shoot.
Yes,
and we love taking pictures.
We love it. We're kind of conceited in that way.
A little bit, yeah. I think I love taking pictures of the girls.
I think also we don't get enough pictures of our own, like,
yes,
on the daily. So I think it's, like, a good reason to be like, let's get together and
that's a huge complaint of moms is to, like, not have enough pictures of ourselves with our kids.
Make memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're taking pictures of the girls, like, on a daily.
Every day.
All day. The whole entire day. Anyways, so this episode, actually, before we get into the episode, I wanted to talk about the room we were in.
Oh, yes. Okay, so she came down from Dallas, and we are at my house. We live a little bit north of Houston, Conroe. And we just moved here about 7 months ago, I think, already.
Yeah,
so this is our new house, and we love it. This room is full of Harry Potter decor. For those of you listening on the podcast, because we also, do the YouTube videos. But if you see any of these things behind us, we got like all of the Harry Potter stuff, and we're big time collectors. So this is Jonathan's like shrine of books. He has so many books. There's more bookshelves that you can't see here. But we collect Harry Potter, we collect Dragon Ball Z, we collect Pokemon, we collect Star Wars. We're the worst. They're
a little different than me and Victor. Yes. We're the opposite in that way. We like to...
You guys are minimalists.
It's pretty bad, though. It's the same. We spend probably the same amount of money, but we like to get rid of our stuff because we get tired of everything that we...
See, I like to hold on to things. Like, I wouldn't consider us like hoarders because that's a little bit different. But
an extreme matter, yeah.
Yeah, but we definitely like to splurge. Like, we love Legos and pop dolls.
Yeah.
All that cool kind of nerdy, geeky stuff.
Yeah.
That's why Jonathan and I are made for each other.
I like that. Well, Victor likes to, for funsies, one of his hobbies is just to get rid of all my clothes. So...
See, I probably need to do that and like get new clothes, but I hate shopping for myself.
Yeah,
that's why you just shop for me.
Doesn't she look cute?
She looks
cute, podcaster. She looks cute.
She literally just like, I told her this is the budget. Shop for me. She sent me like a video of all these clothes, and I'm like, okay, I'll wear that. I'll try it out.
I was like texting her like, so you're gonna do it? So you're gonna do it? So you're gonna do it?
And I'm like the most plain Jane person, so like I got nothing but t-shirts.
I think that's a good start,
but they're nice t-shirts.
If you get to the point where I'm at, you're just buying to buy, and it's like that's pretty bad too.
Yeah,
that's why I'm getting rid of so much clothes all the time. It's because why did I buy that? So I'm technically collecting. I just don't keep
in a different way.
In a different way.
See, I collect like stuff like this, but like I cannot buy myself clothes. One, I've always hated shopping for myself. Like, I can't. I will go and buy Jonathan and my girls' clothes like every day, but for myself, I'm like, $20 for that shirt. I can't. Like, I just can't.
Maybe, I don't know what it is. I don't know the difference, but I like the wall. I will say I can't complain because it's actually pretty cute.
Thanks.
So
worked hard on it for this podcast.
It's not gonna look this neat when we leave.
Not tomorrow. So yes, that's what we're up to today. And so I'm excited for this episode because we just kind of wanted to share like overall things. And this is not a specific topic about anything. We're just going to share like things that we found that were amazing, things that we felt like were the good parts of motherhood, and just parts that were like hard.
So it's going to be more like a sensitive, like be very like honest.
Yes.
There's areas of this episode where we're gonna not probably feel comfortable talking about it. I think we're gonna be. I don't know. You and me are like whatever.
Share vulnerabilities.
But some people are not as comfortable sharing some of this information. Yeah. So I think it would be really nice for us to sit down and talk about it because we're texting all the time, complaining.
Yeah. It's not complaining, it's venting. First of all, you gotta get those feelings out.
But sometimes we're in a hurry, so it's like how we're gonna have time to acknowledge some of that stuff that just
for sure
that we went through. So that's fun.
Yes.
So what's the first topic? Or how do we want to get in? Jump in?
Yeah, let's just jump in. Talk about the good.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. My good, I think, obviously in the moment it didn't feel so good, but looking back at it a year later, I'm like, this was definitely the good, is that I was able to like exclusively pump. Mm-hmm. And I also was lucky enough to buy like one of the most expensive pumps, which is like the LV pump.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford that, or even through insurance, but like, it's what saved my pumping journey.
Yeah.
Being able to get the LV pump. So, I really wanted to breastfeed Millie, but it didn't work out, like nursing. So, pretty quickly I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And I did. And it's what kept me going because I wanted to have a certain, like, I guess to say, like, lifestyle.
Yeah.
And only to keep up to that with that lifestyle is I had to pump on the go. And there was no way I'd be able to do that. Even with, like, the rechargeable Spectra, I was like, I couldn't see myself doing that.
Yeah, that for me, like, exclusively pumping like that, I would probably, I mean, obviously it's good because you're able to give your baby, I was able to give my breast milk, but it was, like, also, like, hard. Yeah. Because I didn't have the LVs like that. I had, like, plugged into the wall.
Right. And that's...
Yeah.
Every night that I had to do that, I was like, no way. Yeah. There's no way. I'm not doing this again. Like,
yeah. I wanted to quit many times. But yeah, I was glad. When you told me that you could get the LVs, I'm like, do it.
I told Victor, I was like, if I don't get these, we're going to go buy formula. It's either we're going to go buy this or we're going to go buy formula. But something's going to get bought tonight because I'm not going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then, and that's another thing that's a good is that I had the LV, but I work from home.
Yeah.
So working from home was another good thing because I didn't have to like share, that space that you do when you go back to work, like an office. Yeah. I was in like this mommy group on Facebook where they shared like all the hacks that they had to do at their desk. Some people pumped with their LVs on at their, cubicle. And I was like so happy and blessed that like I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to like do that like hiding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it definitely seems like, because I used to have to pump when I was doing my clinicals at a doctor's office. Mm-hmm. And it's like you kind of, it's your right to pump at work or wherever you're at, but it's like you feel bad for doing it. Yeah. Like you almost feel like, am I going to get in trouble, or my work's going to get behind, or because sometimes some people have to like go to designated spaces, And
it takes time just to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're pumping every 3 hours, 4 hours, that's like, that's a lot. Yeah. So I can see how that is really hard. So that's a blessing for sure.
So working from home, pumping, but also working from home and being able to like care for Millie full time. Like after maternity leave, I returned back to work like at home. Yeah. So that was really good. Nap times were always in her room. Yeah. She had all her toys, all her diapers, all her like everything was right there. I didn't have to like stress out about any of that. I mean, there was all the stress, of course.
Different kinds of stress.
Am I going to meet my production? Am I going to do my work? Yeah. Is my boss going to care if I'm like away from my desk? Yeah. Whatever. But the fact that I was there and I was able to like watch her, and I'm still doing it. Yeah. She's like 13 months now, and I'm still with her full time. Yeah. So I think that's definitely good.
Yeah, that's definitely good mixed with a little bit of hard. Yeah. Yeah. So you definitely have those days where you're like, oh my gosh, especially during leaps and things.
Yeah. So I think somebody just mentioned it like 2 weeks ago, or like a week ago. A friend was like, "Oh, I bet that must be challenging because you feel like you can't excel at either of them." And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah. Because it's like sometimes I feel guilty that I'm not like present with Millie as much as I should. The fact that I'm like actually there, and then sometimes I'm like, you know, I could be doing more at work, but I'm not necessarily getting to that point because I can't. I have to divide even my work hours are divided in
Yeah,
caring
it's like
for
you're
Millie, so
being tugged from both sides for
yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
definitely good, definitely hard. So the paid time off is definitely a good because I've realized not a lot of people have that luxury. Like some people do not have jobs where they have those type of benefits.
Yeah.
I mean, they have FMLA. It's like a law, right? But people go off on FMLA unpaid. And I was able to still get paid leave.
Gotcha, yeah.
And that really helped us a lot because of course, the whole idea was that I was going to be with Millie for the entire 12 weeks, and people can't do that. They'll have to spread like 3 weeks here, and they have to go back to work 6 weeks. And one of the things that scared me at the beginning when I was pregnant is that me and Victor worked for the same company, and at one point, the company had like the right where we had to split our FMLA. So only I can only do 6, or he can do 6
like
or
at different times,
just total 12. Yeah.
Oh,
Total of 12 hours. So he was gonna, like, the idea was that he was gonna take 3 weeks and I was gonna take 6. But then right before I gave birth, they changed that rule and we were both able to get 12 weeks.
Oh, thank God.
And they were paid. So I found that to be a good thing now that I realize, like, oh, some people don't even get that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything, but I wasn't full-time or anything. I was like a independent contractor, so. Right. Let's see, my good. So since I have 2 little ones, I kind of have like different experiences when it came to like work and stuff. With Maya, I was home a lot more than I was with Juliet, and she was my first, so I feel like it was a good experience to be able to stay at home with her. I mean, the circumstances that got me there weren't the best. Because I was working full-time and then I lost my job, but it was a blessing. It was for real a blessing to be able to not work during pregnancy and be able to stay home the first few months with her. I was finishing my master's degree during that time, right. And so I did have to do like clinicals, and Jonathan was watching her a lot towards the end of that. But being able to experience that, like being home with her, was amazing. With Juliet, it's definitely been different because I'm working like full time now. So that's one of the, I guess, the bads. But and I guess a lot of the guilt is like I feel like my Juliet doesn't get the same one-on-one time. So lately I've been really trying to be more present. Like I'm not on my phone as much. And I used to like text like crazy, and I kind of stopped doing that because I'm just like, she needs me.
Right. So when you get home, you're with her.
Yeah.
More time with them.
Yeah, with them for sure. So, but also like being able to like I guess the good part of motherhood is like being able to see your babies like just grow and flourish, and like watch their little personalities just grow. It's just like so amazing. They're so different from each other, but like similar in some ways. But Maya is my very energetic, very physical, just people person extrovert. Like she's a big time extrovert. Yeah. Like she just
social butterfly.
Very social. Oh my gosh, yeah. So she's, watching the little personalities has been amazing. And Juliet she's a little more sensitive while being very like vocal. Like she's a little mean. I don't know.
I think she's like assertive.
Assertive. That's like, a good word. I don't know if it's the second born thing, but like she will let you know when she is not happy. She's not as physical as Maya, but she's starting to be. Like today, she literally almost climbed out of the high chair. But she's more like artsy. Like she loves music. Like she'll play on the drums, and she loves anytime Jonathan plays a guitar, she's like running up to him to play with him. So just watching them has been like really good and fulfilling. I feel like that's been a really awesome part of motherhood so far. That, like, I mean, I knew I was gonna like obviously love my kids, but like really like looking at them, like there's not a day that goes by that I'm like, I love you. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy. Like I tell my kids all the time, like I love you every single day. And it's like,
do you still, like, I don't know if you do this, but when Millie goes to sleep, obviously you're like waiting for bedtime. But as soon as she's asleep and not there, I'm like telling Victor, like, oh my gosh, isn't she so cute? Aren't we so lucky?
Jonathan and I will like literally like screenshot pictures all the time and like send them to each other. Like, oh my gosh, that's so cute.
At the end of the night, I'm like scrolling through all the pictures I took, and I'm like, Victor, look at this face. Look at what she was doing. Yeah, no.
Just wait till she's 3 like Maya, and then you go back to the 1-year-old pictures. It's heartbreaking.
I mean, even after, like a year later, I'm like 8 days old. I think I posted a picture on Instagram today. Like, you know, something about if you're obsessed with your baby, tap in. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She was 8 days old. Yeah. She was so cute.
Gosh.
Cutie pie.
Like it's so weird. Like, you know you're going to love your kids, but you don't realize.
That's the good thing.
Right?
That you don't realize how much you're going to love somebody. That you never met. I was always nervous about that during pregnancy. Like, am I really gonna love this thing? You know, some people. I hear sometimes like
I didn't bond or something like that. Yeah,
and
that's true.
I was worried that was like, no, oh my gosh, like there's no way. I look at Millie sometimes. I'm like, girl, I'm your best friend. Like,
oh my gosh. Have you heard Maya tell me that?
No.
She'll tell me you're my best friend. Oh my gosh. Just wait until she's like, oh. There's so much to come, like, for real. It's awesome. Yeah, she'll be like, you're my best friend, Mom. And I'm like, I just want to cry right now. Because I waited for this for so long, you know. Let's see. What else? What else has been pretty good? I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but that's the gist of it.
Those are the high goods. Like, the things that you really can pinpoint, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, there's always, like, smaller good moments throughout their life, but it's like these are like the bigger the bigger blocks,
for sure,
the core memories. I think one of my good core memories of Millie, especially when she was a newborn, is how we were able to read books at her and she reacted so early on, like not that I was expecting it either. I was doing more of like to build a habit for myself that I'd read her a book every night, so if I start early, it was just going to be something that I did. Versus, like, I know that some parents have to start a little later, and then it's harder for them to, like, build that habit. But even when she was a newborn, hearing my voice, the way she reacted, it was amazing. Like, the videos, like, I have a couple videos of Victor reading her a bedtime story, and she was, like, swaddled. And she'd be, like, screaming.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like, not daddy, I want mommy.
And she'd be, like, no, screaming in a good way, like, just laughing.
Aww.
It's so cute. And so those are, like, the kind of the good memories. So, like, the core memories that you fall back and you're like, that was a really hard and dark time, but also it was beautiful.
Oh, my gosh. No, and that's one of the things, like, in the middle of the night when you're just so tired and exhausted and you're just, like, frustrated, or the mommy rage, which is awful, comes through, and they'll like gassy smile or something, or like lock eyes with you, and you're like, how can I like even be mad right now? You know what I mean? I remember I used to tell you, like, if you're ever frustrated with her at night, just give her a kiss. Just give her a kiss, because just giving her a kiss.
Trying to squeeze you in.
Squeeze you. Yeah, no, it's a reality that, you know, these babies are hard, especially at night. But if you guys are ever like done with the night and you're just like so frustrated, just give your baby a kiss. And seriously, like, it changes your whole mentality, and you can't be mad. Okay,
and for the record, we're not mad at our kids, because another thing that I've noticed is that even if she's like quote unquote annoying me, it's not really her. It's like obviously the situation. Like, most of the time, it's like the fact that I'm already tired. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's it. And I'm just like, okay, I need a break now.
Yeah, like, we have our own needs too, you know?
I've definitely had to leave. I guess getting into the hard, one of the hard parts is, like, I've had to leave the room during bedtime routine. Yes. Before, for sure. Like, after 45 minutes of trying and it's not working, I'm like, no. Like, I can't.
I've done that too, plenty of times.
I've laid her down and I'm like, leaving the room, and I'm like, Victor, your turn.
Exactly.
If I stay there any longer, me and her are both going to be crying on the floor.
Yes. No, you're right. I've done that many times, or I've had to, like, put her down in the crib and be like, Jonathan, I can't. Like, I literally just can't. And like sometimes you feel bad about doing that, but like it's one, safer to do that, and two, like you have your own needs too, and share the load, you know.
Yeah. When me and my other mom friend, yeah, we've texted each other before. Like, we both have had nights on the same night where it's like, this is happening. We both had to leave the room. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, like, at that moment, you're like, oh, this is it. It's like almost you remember all the other times that happened to you. It almost feels like it's just happening every night. But really looking back, like, it wasn't really like that long or that often.
Yeah.
But you get to the point where it's so challenging that your patience gets
tested. I feel like with Maya, my patience was tested a lot more because she was the first, and I don't know if I expected more from her or didn't know what to expect from a newborn or from a 3-month or 6-month-old, to where, like, if I'm rocking you to sleep or you're already asleep in my arms and I put you down and you start screaming.
Right. You expect her not to.
You expect, or it's like, this is the third time doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, you get so frustrated, like, just stay asleep, you know? And it's like, with Juliet, I didn't experience, because she did it just as much as Maya, but I didn't experience that, like, impatience as much as Maya. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe because I knew, like, this is what's going to happen and it's normal, you know?
Yeah. I think so, because, okay, you are not a first-time mom no more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now I am. And sometimes you text me, like, you're expecting too much from Millie. And it's true. Yeah. I think that because I don't know what to expect, then because it worked one night, I'm expecting it to work the next
every
night.
Single night.
Yeah. And I think that's where I've struggled myself. Like, personally, it's been, like, I had to check myself. Like, hey, like,
she's just a baby. Yeah.
She doesn't know any better. You know what I mean? And that's not fair, because I've been going to sleep for 28 years. She's only a year old, that's true, you know? Yeah. So yeah, no. A lot of the times,
and they go through so many. They go through so many ups and downs, whether it's teething or leaps or sickness or sleep regressions. It's like, it's not going to be the same every single night, you know. And so, like, with Juliet, I have been a lot more patient. I didn't have a lot of those. Like, with Maya, I had a lot more of those I have to leave the room moments, you know? So I'm kind of glad that it wasn't like that with Juliet. But at the same time, I will say that Maya, she was, like, had a lot of time with both me and Jonathan because she was bottle fed. So Jonathan, like, took a lot of it, too. And he would get, like, we've talked about this together, like, why do we get so frustrated with Maya? Like we look back on it, both of us, and I mean, he doesn't, like, put Juliet down to sleep a lot. He did tonight, but because she's nursed more than anything, and he noticed too, like, it's different. And then it makes you feel bad about being so, like, impatient with Maya, you know?
Yeah.
With the first.
So talking about that makes me think about the fact that when it comes to sleep.
Everything.
Honestly, I think sleep. I mean, I want to just, like, put it in a box, because everybody's experience is different. At least for you and me, seems like.
But that's the big hot topic for all.
That sleep is the hardest part. Sleep is the hardest part. You guys we have an episode on sleep.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be more episodes on sleep, because sleep. Right now, before we started this episode, I was telling Melissa, it's been an entire month. I've been struggling with bedtime routines. It's usually takes us, like, what used to take us, like, felt like 20 minutes. Yeah. The most. It's taking us, like, an hour.
Yeah.
45 minutes, I'll be really lucky if I'm done in 45 minutes. Most of the time, it's about an hour. She wants me to lay with her, which everybody would be like, oh, that's so cute. Like, yeah, it's cute until you have to do it. And then you have to do that and then get up after you've been laying there almost falling asleep on your, you know, and then you have to get up and go and be an adult for the next 2 hours, you know? Yeah. So it's been hard.
Or you get up and she wakes back up and you're like...
Yeah, and she just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Go back to sleep.
Normally, this is how the routine is. Like, I go put her to sleep, try the 45 an hour, And if she gets up again, that's all Victor, because I have stuff to do.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of done it like that, taking turns. The next time, if he's putting her to sleep, if she wakes up, it's me.
Same. Well, we did that tonight too. She didn't. Juliet wasn't going down with me, so Jonathan had to go in.
Yeah. So that's the hard. I think it's the hard for you and me, for both of us, for a lot of moms out here. But it's also the normal.
Well, actually, just wait, because you're about to get into the terrible twos. So it stops being, sleep stops being the issue, and it becomes the terrible twos. Their little personalities. They're learning how to become independent and being vocal about it, but not being able to actually verbalize it. It's hard.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that like she's experienced that now, and that's not, you know, but I do see like hints
the frustrations,
of it, because I can tell when she's like like kind of humming something, and then like look down and she might be pointing at something, or tapping on me, and she's really upset. Like,
just wait.
And I cannot imagine that times 100 right now, because that to me is already like amplified. Like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah, and Maya, we are talking about the heart right now, but like Maya had between the ages of like 18 months to really like 2.5, she wasn't. She was a little bit speech delayed, so we did have her in speech therapy, but. And everybody has told us this about Maya. Like, of course, we all think our babies are super smart, and they are. But, like, Maya is just so, like, she blows me away sometimes with, like, how smart she is, you know? And so, like, one of the things that the speech therapy told us when they evaluated her was that her, I guess, her level of understanding is far above what she can say. So, like, what she's thinking and she knows and she should be saying, she's not able to say. So, like, there was a huge gap between what she was saying and what she understood and could say. Like, she was more advanced in concepts and understanding and all that. And so, since she wasn't speaking it, she would get so frustrated. And just, you know, cry or try to, like, it was really hard for my baby, like, for real,
especially when you can't, like, she's trying and then you can't get it. So she's frustrated with you, the fact that she's had to repeat herself too, because I kind of noticed that when she was a little younger, that she'd have to repeat herself, and I'd be like, I still don't know what she's saying. Somebody help me. And she withdrew from that conversation because she was mad. Like, I'm done. And now that her language has caught up with her understanding, oh my gosh, it's insane. I'm like, how do you even know that? Like, she's so smart. She's 3. As soon as I walked in the door today, she was like, oh, Monica, we're going to be outside and we're going to take pictures while we play with rice. Like, all of that. Everything. It was amazing. All the stuff that she was saying, I was like, slow down.
Yes. It's pretty crazy. It's nothing that we did, because it's all her. Like, she's just naturally smart, you know?
But it's good that you saw the like, I mean, obviously I feel like as moms we kind of tend to like try to see the positive in the hard stuff. So it was something hard that I feel like for you, because I will say Maya is super smart, but then she had to struggle with speech. It's a little hard to for you to,
and I think it's important, like, when you're struggling with things like that, to like try to help, you know, not just like, I guess, struggle. I don't know how to say it. Like, a lot of times you kind of hold back, but like, we felt like, you know, she is just way too frustrated. Like, she needs help, you know, and so that's why we, even though a lot of time doctors will be like, oh, you know, she's still, at the time, she's still okay, time. Just give her some time. And I'm just like, I don't think you understand. Like, she's so frustrated, you know? And so we went out and we did, like, pretty much it was us really looking for the help and us looking to get her into speech therapy. And it really helped her, you know, and it really quickly, she pretty much got it. And I mean, I don't know if she would have got it anyways, but I just feel like we needed to help her at the time.
And I don't think that hurts anybody.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's another thing. It's like, I don't think that anybody should feel guilty for helping, because that wasn't going to hurt her in any way. It wasn't like I feel like different if you were putting like a cast on her little bone that
Yeah.
wasn't broken. Like, what's that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this was something that, if anything, just
Yeah.
helped her more.
For sure. So that part was hard with her. I guess another part that is where we at. It's hard. Well, we talked about the exclusive pumping for me. That was really hard for me because it was like I was, you know, with the tubing and connected to the wall, and it had to be every 3 hours, and like I couldn't hold my babies during that time, and if Maya wanted to hold, like, you wanted me to hold her, like I couldn't. It was just, ugh. You can't even feed them while you're pumping, like with the external
regular,
ones, yeah. So it was a tough time, and I wanted to quit many times, but I just kept saying, like, one of the sayings I kept telling myself is, don't ever quit on a bad day, you know. So some days I'd be like just done, and I'm like, okay, just do one more. The next day would be better, you know what I mean? So I was very proud that I was able to pump for her, but that was hard. One thing that you and I have talked about a lot with the heart is the change in our marriages.
Yes.
Take a deep breath on this one, guys.
Victor's still awake.
No, he's on there listening to you.
I think with everything, obviously being a first-time mom, everything has come to me like a freaking slap in the face, okay? Everything.
Yeah.
Nothing has hit me lightly. Everything has literally knocked me down. But that one was harder, I think, because
it is hard.
When me and Victor have always had a good, obviously when you get married, you have like a good relationship.
Yeah,
if you're not having a good relationship, don't get married. But but we were pretty amazing, like you know, pretty amazing couple. Victor's a very laid back guy, so he's a very like, I don't know, like just balanced, you know, and he's a slow paced thinker, and I don't know, just very
like y'all complemented each other well.
Each other in that way, but also like helps me think. I'm a very logical thinker. I feel like, so that it helped a lot that I was logical and he was really slow paced, and it was just like it was a perfect team.
It was a good match. Yeah,
it was a great match. And so like then, you know, we also were very responsible about like planning to have a kid. You know, I know people talk about like you have to be like financially stable, or you have to be this. And we did all those things. Everything.
You're ready. You felt ready.
The entire like quote unquote checklist was great, but it doesn't matter because you have a freaking baby in your house, and they just turn your entire life upside down. Yes. And it shook our marriage, like and it was hard for sure. I'm not even gonna lie, like the whole first year, like what are we at 13 months?
It kind of feels like the first year of marriage. You know how the first year of marriage is kind of hard?
You know what? My first year of marriage wasn't as hard.
Oh, mine
wasn't as hard. I don't know if it was because there was not a lot outside factors for me. I'd been living on my own for many years.
Yeah, that's true.
Before I married Victor, and he was living on his own for many years, and so we were very independent people looking for companionship. If that makes sense. And so, and there was nothing like, I don't know, I feel like when you first get married, there's always like the parents there wanting like to give you advice, or there's like the friends there trying to tell you not to get married with this person. There was nothing like that. Everything was like into place. So a baby definitely shook like the entire
So you'd say that your first year of baby was much harder than the first year of marriage.
Yes.
I mean, same here. Our first year of marriage was a little bit like not rocky or anything like that, but just hard because we both of us moved from our parents and to straight to you know with each other, but we were getting to know each other and our likes and dislikes as sharing a house for the first time.
Okay, so this is the thing about it, like it's so crazy because when me and Victor started living together, and when we got married and living together and sharing, it was so easy to be like compromised. I don't know if it was because we were fresh out of like premarital counseling, you know, and it's like all of a sudden we're like, okay, this is what she told us, you know, and then, you know, yes to this and yes to this, and we're meeting halfway. But with the baby, it was like me 100% always right.
For sure.
As a mom, I was like, first, my opinion, then maybe what think about yours. So I think that's what made it difficult. There was not a lot of compromise from.
That's true.
Look back. It's
well,
more,
Jonathan and I are both of us are extremely stubborn. Both of us are very independent on our own, and both of us are like strong
Yeah.
You know how Victor is more calm natured. There's not a calm nature one for us.
You guys both have like that face.
Yeah, a strong personality. So like he's not gonna back down and I'm not gonna back down. But we still work like, there's no doubt about that. You know.
Yeah.
But the first, definitely when Maya came along, I think the big thing is that I am not the same person as a mom.
Right.
I'm a completely, like, I am no longer going to be pre-mom Melissa ever again.
Yeah. I think I'm still struggling with that, but let's continue.
Yeah, like, before before becoming a mom, I was very laid back as far as, like, a lot of stuff. I was very late. I was very carefree.
And you knew which one, like, what battles to pick. Like, I feel like most of the time you weren't, like, the one to ever, like, continue
Yeah,
on,
I was a peacemaker. I was worry-free. Like, one of my favorite verses in the Bible is, like, don't worry about today, for tomorrow has enough worries. Like, that was my motto, you know? But once I became a mom, all of that went out the window. Like, I wish I could get back to that spot. Like, I really do, but you can't. How can you not worry if you're a mom?
Especially when it's about your kids. Because I feel like taking some steps back, if it was like anything non-related to Millie, it's back to the same stuff. It was like, okay, this and that. You know what I mean? But when it's always about Millie, which is usually always is.
That's the thing is when we first had Maya and Jonathan and I were kind of struggling with those power struggles of, being a mom and being a dad. I told Jonathan, like, every single decision that I make has to do with Maya. Like, when I take a shower, when I leave, when I open the freaking door, like,
it's true.
Every single decision.
As soon as you wake up.
Every decision. Like,
even when you're asleep.
It doesn't matter. Like, does not matter. Like, I could be outside of the house thinking about, did my girls eat? Like, it doesn't, every single decision has to do with that. And so, one of the things that I remember that Jonathan told me early on that kind of helps me now to, like, settle and balance myself to not, like, get on to him or argue with him or anything is, like, he told me, I'll never forget it, because I told him, like, it's exhausting. Like, I was crying to him. I was like, you don't think I'm tired of having all these thoughts? Like, it's exhausting to think about your children this much. Like, it truly is, you know? And so he told me, like, you think about all that, and I think about you on top of that. Yeah. He's like, I think about everything else that I have to do about the kids. Maybe not as much, like, as intense as me, but, like, he's worried about me on top of that, because he's saying me struggle with the decisions and me struggle with the night feeds and all this. And, like, he's trying to make me happy too, And so, like, I give him some grace.
We forgive you.
I'm just kidding. Because it's true, like, the men are more like family unit wise, and we are like zoning in on our kids, you know.
It's like, forget about us, forget about him.
Yeah.
Too, because I mean, I don't know about you, but it was always like, forget about you, honey. So,
and then once you realize though that you do that, it doesn't make you feel bad. And you have to take a step back and be like, okay, you're also my husband. Yeah. And I have to, focus on you too. But it's like, it's really hard.
So one thing I think that made it harder for me, our relationship, it was that I feel like at the time that I was like, I'm a new mom now, trying to figure things out. A lot of, like, my past childhood trauma
oh my god
was coming out, and I was like, I have no time for this. Yeah. But there was really no time to, like, figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, true.
And so then Victor had to deal not just with, like, us figuring out to be, like, parents together as a couple, but also, like, something's wrong with her, and like, she needs some type of help, and, like, I don't know how to help her, because Victor's very, like, let's find a solution type of person, and I'm like, you better not be finding a solution to my childhood trauma right now.
I don't even want to revisit that. Nope.
Exactly. So it was a lot of that I think that stirred a lot of the, I would say, like, not problem, but just the tension. Yeah. That it was a lot. I don't know. Just, I think the biggest fear that I had with Millie was that I wasn't gonna be a bad mom. And Victor was always like, You're not a bad mom. Yeah. The fact that you're, like, worried about Millie is already, like, more than, you know what I mean? Whatever. But I always had that. Like, that was always a coming back of, like, I feel so depressed, or, like, so down today because I feel like I failed in some way.
Yeah.
When he was like, "You're crazy. If anything, you're like doing way too much."
Yeah.
You know, all of this stuff. So I think at that point it was like, you're not understanding how I'm feeling. But he was just being logical. He was seeing it from like the other side.
For sure.
Being an external like
yeah, because
audience.
we're more emotional about things, and they are definitely more like what is actually going on.
Right.
You know. And so, yeah, that shift is hard. And like I said, I will never, like, be the same again. And it kind of sucks, you know, to, like, know that, you know, I'm a different person and I'm not going to go back to how I was before. I mean, I wouldn't trade that for my kids, for sure. But, like, you know, I'm not as carefree. I'm not as worry-free. And it is, like, such a weight to, like, be a mom and worry about all these things, you know. But I will say that... you know, I think probably year 2 is when things started to get better for Jonathan and I. I mean, we still have our, you know, days. But, like, he's learned how to deal with me and my crazy. And I've learned to let things go.
Yeah.
Because I think you're probably almost at that stage now. Yeah. But when Maya was first born, it was like, things have to be exactly the way I'm telling you to do it. Like, if I say to do the you know,
first the diaper, then the sock. The sock does not go before the diaper. Okay, no, just kidding.
No, it's so serious.
But it feels
it's
like
so,
that. Looking back at it. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, for real. Like
if you read the book before the bottle, like, I'm done. I'm just kidding. Like, I don't know, something crazy like that.
No, it's
like,
true.
You just look back and you're like, really? Like,
Monica,
that couldn't
is
happen.
it just us? Like, for real, guys. Is it just
we need
us?
to do a poll.
We
when
need
this
to know.
episode and when we drop it, we're gonna do a poll, and this is gonna be the poll. Like,
are you crazy like us?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think I do know some laid back moms, you know, and I admire them. Like, I want to be like that too sometimes, you know.
I feel like every mom. So I have some laid back moms, but they also still internally struggled with this.
Yeah.
Except they were they were able to like let go easier.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true.
Letting go takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like
because yes, now, Millie is like 13 months, and it has, of course, gotten easier.
Yeah.
Also, like, Victor's more vocal about like when he feels like I'm being disrespectful, because that's another thing about tension. It's like, if you're in a bad mood or if you're in a bad mood and you're feeling hormonal and you disrespect that person, you're gonna like go to sleep feeling guilty, but your freaking guilt is not gonna let you apologize. And now I know that I'm like, no, I need to go apologize, like, right now. Yeah. You know.
Oh my gosh, today. I remember one fight that I had with speaking of hormonal, with Jonathan after Juliet. I cried. Do you remember that?
I don't think so, but maybe.
No. Monica and I, we used to like text each other because they're like 2 months apart. 2 months apart.
2 months apart. Mm-hmm.
And so
Juliet and Millie are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we would be up in the middle of the night texting each other like, "Oh my God, you awake? Yes, I'm awake." But there was one time that Jonathan said something, and I just like broke down, like tears. Like, and I'm not really a person that cries. Like, I'm not emotional, like crying. I'm more like an angry person. But I was just so emotional, and it's like, sometimes I have to remember, like, he doesn't, like, say or do things purposefully to hurt me or to go against me. It's just the way I take it sometimes.
Well, and just the way you saying that kind of reminds me of the times that I've done that to Victor, and he's hurt me back. But it's because I was just the same. Like, I did that. I caused that because I pushed him too far to the point where he needed to defend himself in the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So looking back, I'm like, wow, I was really rough. I was really bad. We're pretty bad. But our husbands, they care enough.
They love us.
You know, I've seen a lot of people like get separated because of this.
Yes.
And that was a big fear. I told Victor, I was like, I know that we're fighting right now and we probably don't like each other, but we have to stay together. Like, we love each other. We cannot forget about that.
For sure.
Because when you're like arguing about the bottles, how you're not using the correct soap. I bought Dapple for a reason. Use it. You know, you have to stay together. You cannot get divorced for using Dawn.
For soup, for soap. Oh my gosh. No, the things that you fight about sometimes is ridiculous. Like, why was I that way, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, the dynamic shift between husband and wife when you introduce a kid is completely different.
Yeah.
But
We'll talk more about that,
Yeah.
I think, in our next episode, too.
because we could probably go on and on.
No, yeah, for sure. But
So, yeah.
we're happily married.
Yes.
Just
yes.
for the
No,
record.
things have gotten so much better,
Yeah.
and the communication is better. Jonathan's really good at, making me talk, because Monica and I have, like, very similar childhood traumas in a way, but because we came, her mom and my mom are sisters, but it's just like, I don't even know where
We
I was
also
going with
don't
this.
like to talk about it because I think
That's probably why my mind
this
just
is
went
the thing.
blank.
Yeah, we were raised to, not necessarily that they told us to, but we were just raised to, like, we can move past it. Like,
No, we don't share emotions.
We don't share emotions.
We don't talk
can
about
move past
emotions.
it.
Yeah.
Just the less you say, the better. And I think that's how we are.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, no, 100%.
That's, I'm,
I don't
I'm
even
glad,
know how to
I'm glad we're
explain
doing
it.
this because we can, like, vent and talk about it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's one thing that Jonathan, like, noticed early on about me.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're not doing this. Like, we have to talk about things. We have to talk about our feelings. And I'm like, why?
Right. No,
Like,
Victor's always
just
like,
leave
"We
me
need to
alone
talk."
and I will get
Yeah.
over it. That's how I always dealt with things. It's like, if you hurt me, just leave me alone and I will put it in the back of my mind and move on. And that's not healthy.
Yeah, like, oh, I'll forgive you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Whatever happened.
And then you have the blow up later, But
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're doing great. Our
We're just a
husbands
little crazy.
and our husbands are the best dads. Like, honestly,
They
like,
are.
Jonathan is such a good dad, and I see Vic with Millie, and like, they're just like, how can we be mad at them when they're such good daddies?
And, they don't do anything wrong. Is the crazy. Okay, so our kids we never walked in, at least me, I've never walked in and been like, she was dying. No.
Yeah.
We're just OCD, so.
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna be very interested to see if it's like, is it a
Just
Salvadorian
us.
thing?
Is it Hispanic?
Hispanic thing.
Latina mom problem? Is it just every mom? I wonder if it's like a personality type.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, but some people are easier. Like, they
To
just
get
know
past
how
it.
to let go. So.
Oof. We're getting there, Monica. Anything else that was
Let's see.
hard? Pandemic babies.
Yeah, that was definitely. Well, it has still been hard. It's still hard for me. I was both pregnant, gave birth, and a mom,
Yeah.
all in the pandemic.
Pandemic, yeah.
You
That's
too.
true.
I mean, I guess you
With Juliet.
Yeah, Juliet. And I think that's hard only because, like, you have these expectations of how you're gonna be a mom.
Yeah.
Obviously, socially too, and like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
Do you
you're,
feel like you
stuck
missed
at
out?
home. Yes.
Yeah.
You're stuck at home all the time, and then on top of that, like, all your friends are having babies too, but none of us can get together.
Yeah.
And then also, like, texting is just so tiring. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather sit down like what we're doing now and have coffee and like vent.
Yeah.
But if I have to text you about my problem, then it's not worth. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just not worth the time. And so I think that made it really a big issue because I'm like, I have all these friends having babies, and we can all just like be sharing this and feel some like hashtag liberated.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna because we can't leave the house
Yeah.
or except X, Y, and Z. So
See, my friends and I, like, we don't, like, even before the pandemic, we didn't get together a lot anyways.
yeah,
But we didn't really text a lot before kids. But I think after kids, we do. I mean, we kind of haven't been lately. I think we've all been super busy. All of us
Yeah.
are, like, are having 2 kids,
yeah.
So it's, like, gotten a lot busier for everybody. But I think we did text a lot. But the part that was hard for me during the pandemic was, like, seeing the change in Maya. Because Maya was 15 months when the pandemic started. And so she was just at that point to where, like, she had a lot more understanding of things. And like I said, she's very extroverted. So when everything shut down, like, even her, and I don't know if that was a coincidence with the speech issues or what, but her personality literally changed. Like, she was very, like, just I wouldn't say angry, but frustrated. She used to go to swim. She used to have her mother's day out. We used to go to church. She had a whole routine. Yeah. She had all these friends. She saw all these people. And all of a sudden, it was like, you can't leave the house. And it's just us, you know. So we used to go out in the patio because we had a little small condo. So we used to go on the patio just to, like, get out of the house, you know. And when people would stop by, she would just be so excited to see it. Random strangers, just so excited to see them and to say hi. And then, like, when they would leave, she would, like, get really sad. Yeah. It was really hard to, like, see that change in her. Yeah. And just know that, like, this is affecting even a 18-month-old kid. Yeah. You know?
And I didn't really experience that a lot because Millie's barely 13 months now, and we're socializing now and everything. Yeah. But I remember having that fear of, like, that's going to happen, like, forever for all the babies.
Yes. I had a fear with Juliet. I'm like, what if, like, this is, like, what is her life going to be, you know?
It is, like, a joke on, like, the social media, like,
the pandemic babies,
like, the TikToks and stuff like this is such a, you know, my pandemic baby, he went to Target today, and he's like, you know, just so shocked. It's like, what is this place? But it's so sad.
It is.
It's so sad because that was their whole entire life. Yeah. Like, my friend, she had her baby, think like a month before it shut down, and so her baby's entire life has been, like, just at home. Yeah. And she said she had never taken to the store or anything. Gosh. You know, and so she was, like, scared for her entire life. Like, how is he going to react to,
and
like...
then you get scared that your child's going to get sick, too.
Oh, yeah. And now, always sick. But it's also, like, kind of normal. But always sick, you know what I mean? Because it's like, are they sick because of the pandemic? Or I don't know. It's just so... I don't know. The pandemic was so hard, I think, for moms, for babies, for just everybody. Like, husbands, too. Cause they can't leave.
Can't deal with our crazy ass.
Yeah. Millie's doing good about, like, I just don't feel like it affected her so much.
Well, when they don't know, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like at one point she was too young to be around people, right? Like, I just...
You want to protect them.
Right. Yeah. But then now, the one thing I do struggle is that I have a habit of, like, keeping her at the house. Yeah. And I do want to socialize because I'm a social butterfly. But I still get scared. I'm like, she's going to act this way because she's so used to, like, the quiet, you know? Yeah. And she's like her daddy. And I've said this, and you're always like, Monica, you need to stop. And you need to just let her experience it. Yes. So I'm the one who's, like, kind of holding back because I'm scared because she's always been in that environment where it's, like, more calm, less stimulation, and which is not always, like, good either. You know, she needs to have that change in environment.
And that's one thing that I always say about kids is, like, if once you let them experience things, your fears kind of go away because they surprise you. Like, you might be scared that she's going to act a certain way, but then you actually get there and you're like, man, she actually did good. Yeah. And then you would have, like, not let her have that experience if you didn't do it. You know?
I have the mom meetups now, and I've done, like, 2. And the first one that I had, Millie was kind of, like, on the younger side. And now she, and the second meetup I had is different mom, so she was in the older side. And I saw it. Like, I saw that. That I was, like, I was being scared for no reason because she saw the babies who were, like, 8 months, and now she's 13 months, and she wanted to, like, go hug them and, like, and play with them and just, like, be everywhere. Yes. She didn't even care whether I was there or not. She was like, I want to be here. I want to be there. And I think that the pandemic scared me to feel like this is going to be how it needs to be.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I really hope that this is, I don't know. We ain't going to get into the politics of the pandemic, but it's just definitely a difference because I did experience pre-pandemic with a kid, and it's even to this day, and we're in March of 2022, even to now, it's still not the same as it was before, you know? And I am a person that, like, we still go out. Like, we're not, like, shut-ins or anything like that. Or, like, there are still some people that are afraid for their kids or for their family, or they have somebody that can be compromised, you know? And, you know, I definitely think that you have to look at each family and make decisions that are best for your family. And so we still do, like, more things than we probably should. But it's still not the same, you know? So anyways, that's been hard. All right, so the amazing stuff.
For me, was that I got to spend it with you. Even if it was just through text.
Yeah.
That's been amazing.
Yeah.
We talked about it tonight. I was like, okay, if I have another one, I'm going to have to text you because if I had to do it the first time, I didn't even do it on my own. I was like, Melissa was Millie's second mom.
Yes, that's my baby.
No, that has been amazing. The fact that I had someone to go do this with because, wow. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
No.
I mean, yeah, I had Victor too, but it's like another mom. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing, even now, like Millie and Juliet will literally be going through the similar stuff right now.
For sure.
Even though Juliet's older, sometimes she's like maybe getting more teeth in, and maybe Millie's like getting something else.
It's right back to back.
It's right back to back. Yeah. Like Millie will be entering a leap that Juliet just finished. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is happening, XYZ. Like, yeah, she just mastered this, or she just started. So it's been amazing.
Yes,
that,
for sure.
At the beginning, I think what really helped me was that we were both up at night.
I remember. I can clearly remember the nights in the living room when after Juliet kicked us out of the room. Like just being in the couch and like you texting or me texting you and like, oh my gosh, like she just woke up, or you telling me that you still have to pump, and I'm like, okay, let me stay awake a little while longer with Monica, you know. So yes, find someone if you can. And I will say, Monica and I are 7 years apart, so I did not think that we would be having babies together.
You know how when you're 13, okay, I was like 13 and you were like, what is that, 20? Oh my God, stop. That's embarrassing.
No, like I literally.
But seriously, when I was 13 and she was like 20, and we talked about like we were gonna have kids.
Yes, we did.
We were down. Okay,
we did talk about that, and I didn't think it would happen because like 7 years is a big difference. You know?
Yeah, you were driving, you had a whole job, and I was like, I don't know, in middle school.
But we've always been very close. But like, I'm so glad. Like, I never expected us to have a kid at the same age. Like, okay, like so they're the same age.
Let's real quick. I know this episode's getting long, but I just wanted to kind of mention, like, so Melissa announced that she was pregnant, and you did a FaceTime reveal. I hang up the FaceTime, and I was like, it's our turn. Like, I need it to be right now because I don't know how this is gonna have a third one. It needs to be like right now.
Yes.
So that's how it was.
That's why you're like, let's get on it right now.
Yeah,
and then you get pregnant the first month.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Oops.
No, but yeah, I am so grateful that like our kids are the same age. And that just died on us. It's okay. But yeah, we don't know if we're gonna have a third. Like we'll see, because it's been hard with two. And you don't know if you're gonna have a second. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been awesome to share that together. And that they're gonna grow up and literally be like so close. Yeah, love it.
They love each other.
Yeah.
Millie's not a hugger yet. Yeah. But Juliet just turned into one.
Yeah.
And I love to see that.
Yeah, she's just like all over Millie. It's super
cute. She's like choking her by the neck. It's like, but it was still
Juliet,
cute.
Can you get off of her, please? So what else is amazing? I mean, I kind of talked about like watching them grow. Like that's good and amazing, like for sure. Like, one thing that I will say that has been amazing, like, and I even, I remember telling my friends this. I'm like, you have all this love for your first baby, and when I was pregnant with Juliet, I literally, and I don't know if this is bad or not, and I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks it, but I don't think I am because my friends shared this with me too. I used to think like, how is it going to be possible for me to love another child the way I love Maya? Like, I did not think, like, honestly, that it was possible. Like, I just love Maya so much. Like, how can another baby come, and how can I, like, love them as much as Maya? Yeah. And let me tell you, I was telling you this the other day, it's literally, like, unbelievable that your heart can grow like that.
And it can grow. Okay, so that's another thing, that it could grow.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think the biggest fear is that your attention does, in some way, have to be divided, of course, because it's limited amount of time. But love, it's, like, unconditional. Like, it's just everywhere. And the fact that it just grows. You're not dividing your love for somebody, which is what people think when you're having, like, children, like multiple children, but it's the fact that it's just like another extension of you that just all of a sudden just spurred like.
Yeah, and then like Maya being the older child or being the older sister now, it's like I love her even more. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. Being a mom is so weird.
It's cool. It gives me hope, but I don't want to have a second kid yet. No, I don't think about that. Oh God. But I mean, if there is a chance, I gotta leave it a little room for chance because I don't want to eat my words. I've been eating my words all year, so.
I haven't even said nothing about it. You're like, I'm gonna have one child only, and I'm like sipping my coffee.
I have to get to the point where I forget how birth was or forget how pregnancy was, and I am not there yet.
Yeah.
But I do have that fear of like, if I wait too long, either it's gonna be too late, like me, like physically, not physically like too late, but like I don't want to go through it anymore. It's too late, or it's gonna be a gap in between. It's too high for them to like have that bond like that Maya and Juliet have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've heard like maybe from other moms that have had like a bigger gap, like 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think that there is less of a closeness, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because I do have friends that have that gap, and I think their babies are still very close. But I don't know how that changes or transforms in like the older and teen years. Mm-hmm. That might change.
I think it just depends. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Depends on the kids too, their personalities and stuff.
Yeah, because some kids like they were just always like they always did their own thing, and that was totally fine, and that could be it. And
because you could have 2 kids that are like a year or 2 apart, and they're not even close. Right. I hope that's not the case. But.
Okay. So mom guilt.
Mom guilt. Yeah, I feel like my mom guilt is like, for right now, it's like how much I complain.
Stop, because that's everybody's mom guilt. God, I just used the word complaint like 3 times on this
podcast.
I
feel like I complain too much. Like, why am I complaining? Like, I asked for my babies. And they're amazing. So why do I complain?
This is this your mom guilt we're recording? Oh,
yes.
I don't think this is usually mom guilt's like, haha, funny. This one's not funny because I think that is okay. 100%.
It's okay to complain is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I think that if we... Well, I mean, I guess it's a mom guilt. It's like not so logical, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, just like we should have all the right to complain. I'm so entitled. I really am. But I'm sorry. I just birthed this entire baby out of my vagina. I'm 100% gonna complain. She's so humble.
I just find it so hard. Like, I think I feel bad that I complain because of who they are. Because of who they are. Like, sometimes, like...
No, I get you.
It's like, so hard because, like, there are some days when, like, I'll say something that I don't mean to Maya. Yeah. Or, like, I'll do something that I don't mean. Not, like, how can I explain?
You're not, like, mean to her, but...
No, but I'll be like, Maya, can you just stop already? Mm-hmm. You know, like, something like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you kind of saw the struggles in here.
Maybe with the way you said it to her.
And so, like, and then I look at her and she does something amazing and I'm like, why are you this way, Melissa? Like, like right now, like Maya was up here with us and like she wouldn't stop talking because she's at the age where she talks so much. And
she's so excited for us.
She's so excited. And I have to like remind myself and remind Jonathan, she's only 3, you know? And it's that same thing that we talk about, like, we expect too much from our kids. It's so true, and it's still true at 3 years old.
100%.
Like, why am I expecting her to, like, be quiet for more than 2 minutes at a time, you know? So, yeah, my mom guilt is that.
Or the fact that she forgets to be quiet. Her intentions are not to be disruptive.
Exactly. She's 3.
Yeah.
You know? And so there are some times when I'm like, why am I complaining right now?
I feel you. But still.
I feel like I have every right to complain about sleep type of stuff.
Yeah.
But if it's during the day, like, why am I complaining? Like, my kids made a mess. I'm over here like
I
freaking
know.
freaking Godzilla roaring. And that's their job. You see what I'm
Because
saying?
like Millie has tons of toys, and I'm always like, why is there toys on the floor? Monica, because you bought them.
I'm
Because
telling you.
you bought them. But I get it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just like sometimes when I'm a complainer, like especially if I've had a day and at the end of the day I'm like, or even at that moment I'm like, why am I?
Yeah.
I don't ever want Maya like sometimes we'll say Maya stop talking or like baby you're talking too much or whatever. Like I don't want her to feel like
You don't want to silence her voice.
Exactly.
Hashtag feminist movement. No, let's not. But
We
yeah.
wanted her to talk, right? Like we wanted her to get to
You
this
went
point.
to speech therapy, and now
Exactly.
she can't shut up, and you're complaining.
Why am I complaining?
No, I'm just kidding. I get you. It's a daily reminder to remember, like, this is all good stuff.
Yeah.
This is all one thing is like not to take it too serious because they
Yeah.
are kids. They're
Yeah.
literally children, babies, and then two, it's like just to go back to the beginning. You are doing all the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think you complain as much as you think you complain, but maybe it's because I'm not like with you all the time.
Yeah.
But I, on the other hand,
No,
my
that's
complaining- my complaining is pretty bad, but I'm okay with that.
I have the right to complain.
No, so my mom guilt, is it for like the longest time? I felt like it just felt like a very like dark life.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Well,
a
you're
mom
able to
guilt
laugh
because-
about it now.
Okay, I feel like I'm only laughing for it because it's a defensive mechanism, but
You're laughing
you know,
because
just-
if not, I'm gonna cry.
yeah. No, but I do feel like it's a mom guilt because looking back at it, I'm like, oh, it's like normal.
Yeah.
But I think I felt very guilty about feeling really bad about having a kid because
Gotcha.
I like made it really easy to have to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Which is not this like situation with everybody. So
Yeah.
that made me feel guilty. Like, why am I not more grateful of the fact that it was just so easy?
Yeah.
I mean, my pregnancy wasn't like the best, but it could have been worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's always like that,
Yeah.
like glass half full, half empty kind of idea. And so, even though I wasn't like always really happy about like having to put her to sleep or
Yeah.
dealing with bedtime or the fact that she was such a great sleeper and could sleep 8 hours, I still felt all of the emotions. And so my mom guilt was that if it's kind of crazy how I could still
Feel so down.
I could still feel isolated even though I was texting to you, all the time, or I could feel a little like crazy, stir crazy in my mind, even though like I was just it's just the hormones, and I know that it's gonna pass, and I don't know, just like I think that's my mom guilt is that sometimes I'm glad I didn't make a choice where it was like this could have been the core memory of that situation.
Yeah.
But I internalized a lot of things, and now I'm like I could have enjoyed it just a little more, because now she doesn't let me rock her. But remember the times that I'd be like, I cannot believe I have to rock her to sleep.
Yeah.
So things like that I'm like I could have, like you said, complained less about it.
Yeah.
But I think it was just that I struggled with the fact that I've like as soon as you birth this baby, you are like you said a whole nother person, and I didn't like that because I had the idea that I was gonna be me, but it was just gonna be like another mini me, and it's not like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's you almost kind of lose your independence.
Yeah. No, you don't almost.
No, you do, but and I still struggle with that because I'm like, how dare she?
Yeah.
Just like come into my life,
And then you feel guilty about it.
But it's been amazing. It's just like coming to terms with it, I think.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that you have wrote down there is like when you feel guilty about wanting a break. I had that too.
Yeah.
Like I cannot wait for bedtime to get here. I need a break. And then you're like, see, it goes back to why am I complaining?
Yeah. So I did this thing one time. Me and Victor were, I think Millie had like a really late nap, so we had to stay up to like 11:30, and we were done. We were just both like tapped out. But we decided to take the last 30 minutes of the night to like completely give her the undivided, like just get her tired. Like,
Yeah.
get her as tired as possible.
Uh-huh.
And it was amazing.
So much fun.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
And it was fun when I tried, because the other times that this would have happened and I didn't try, that's what I feel guilty about. That I could have just been like, let's just try a little harder.
Oh. Motherhood.
Sorry, if you hear this.
Motherhood, I tell you. Yep. All right. Well, that was this episode. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching us here on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at Moms Without Time.
For more information, visit our website at momswithouttime.com and email us at connect@momswithouttime.com.